We're in San Diego with Toyota to drive the new Prius hybrid.
All right, there's a lot of stuff you want to know, like how much does it cost? What's the mileage and all of that? Well, that's under strict embargo. We are going to have a second full video review that we're putting out on the embargo date of December 14th. But right now, we have our second camera. We're going to walk around and show you the new Prius.
This new Prius is longer, wider. The roofline has dropped by 2 inches. It's refined, it's sophisticated, it has more power. Toyota has announced front-wheel drive numbers, 57 miles per gallon combined, which is a really great number. All-wheel drive model fuel efficiency will come when the embargo lifts, so we'll have that information for you.
So what about the front of this thing? I mean, that is one sleek-looking Prius. This is the third time we've actually seen this car. The first time we saw it was a sneak peek at Toyota head office in Texas. Then we saw it at the LA show, and now we're getting to spend more time with it. And man, this doesn't look like any Prius of the past.
No, I really like this longer hood. It kind of dips down a little bit. You've got the Toyota logo. The lights have a bit of a C-shaped design to them. It just looks really quite elegant in the front. So we pop the hood. Gone is the 1.8 liter engine. Now it's moved to a more powerful 2-liter engine. This is the 5th generation hybrid system. The all-wheel drive model has 196 horsepower and the front-wheel drive model 194 horsepower. In Canada, standard all-wheel drive for the hybrid, but in the US, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available on all trims.
So it's interesting that they've gone with more power for the new Prius.
Yeah.
And we can't share with you the official fuel economy other than that number Andrea just mentioned.
Yes.
But they've put the assets of the Prius more towards power and driving dynamics, obviously, than having it for just straight efficiency.
Well, and you think about it, the previous model has 120 horsepower. That is a massive difference in power now. To move from 120 to 196.
You know what that is? It's 60% more power.
Yeah, so you can see that Toyota is really focusing not only on fuel economy with this Prius, but they want it to be a fun vehicle to drive, that it's performance driven. Now you'll notice that there's some different logos. Hybrid Reborn, for example, you will see it throughout this Prius model. And it's a logo that Toyota has come up specifically actually for this Prius model.
Yeah.
Whether they use it for others, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, they've actually put little Easter eggs all over. I'll show you another one quickly here. It's right by the window, and you can see it as well. So they're all over the car. So Andrea,
yeah.
Is this a sedan or a hatchback? Because Toyota refers to it as a sedan.
I know, I'm surprised about that. To me, this looks like a Sportback. I think that it has such a sporty vibe to it just because of the way it opens. This comes with a tire repair kit. It does not have a temporary spare tire.
And lots of styrofoam.
Lots of styrofoam in this one. But it's not bad for space back here. I don't have the exact measurements yet. We will have that in our full review coming up on December 14th. But for now, it's not bad for space. And this XLE model does not come with a power tailgate. It's manual.
All right, inside we go.
Yeah.
First thing I noticed when I saw this, Andrea.
I feel like I'm sitting up a little too high. Let me just ratchet myself down.
There's no power passenger seat. You got to do the ratchet. I'm okay with that.
That's
At
better.
least they offer it, right?
For sure, for sure.
First thing I noticed, the quasi head-up display. We first saw this in the BZ4X or the BZ4X north of the border. I love it because the instrument cluster is up and away close to the windscreen. It's kind of like a head-up display. Some people, you're not a big fan. I think it looks great.
Well, actually, it's not that I'm not a big fan of the system. I think that it's very practical. You don't need a head-up display in this vehicle. I like how you can set the steering wheel so it sits above the steering wheel, and it's a very clear display. I just don't like the look of it when I glance over there. I just feel like it's so far away. I don't know.
So we're not sure on the official size, but it looks like that earlier electrified version. What size was it?
Yeah, 7-inch in the BZ4X.
Yeah, so it looks similar to that. And then you have the big showstopper here, the big screen.
This is a 12.3-inch touchscreen. It comes standard with an 8-inch touchscreen. Both screens get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I just want to point out that in the US, the XLE model has the 12.3-inch screen as an option. It's not available on the Canadian XLE model, only on that top trim.
But you know what? Back to my point about the head-up display and then the rather small and sporty-looking steering wheel. So it's a 3-spoke steering wheel with, you know, nice switch gear in the center here. It's a very nice driving position, and the seats, Toyota, I don't know what it is about their seats, but they must use a certain density of foam that's really quite comfortable. So the seating position, you know what this reminds me of? Toyota's not going to like this. This reminds me of the old Civic. I think it came out around 06 that had the split screen, same kind of driving position. It's similar to that.
Yeah, the comfort level in the cabin is great. I think you'll enjoy this Prius on a longer drive as well. The interior kind of has a bit of a minimalistic approach to it. It's very simple, it's clean. There is hard plastic and soft materials used throughout. Pretty good storage on the side here of the door pockets, but I really like how they went with this trim piece here. They could have easily done piano black, but they didn't.
Oh, well, wait.
And it's a nice retro design.
You want piano black. You just go back here to the center console. This is framed with piano black. It's a trend we don't love. I understand why they do it. It has a sort of an upscale look, but it is fingerprint, scratch, and dust magnet. Just beware of that. And I also like the HVAC controls with real switches. But one thing that's really interesting is the volume knob is over by the passenger.
Yeah.
I guess you can turn it up and down, and then I use the steering wheel.
And then the other thing about trims, in the US you have 3 trims, so you've got more of a stripped down base trim available, like we said, with the smaller touchscreen. But we would really recommend going up to that XLE model to get the extra features. I mean, you've got a power driver seat, heated steering wheel on the Canadian model, heated front seats, and then that top trim opens you up to so many more features like the panoramic view monitor, the digital rear view mirror, ventilated front seats, and then heated rear seats are standard on that top trim in Canada. Like we said before, heated rear seats are an option in the US.
All right, so the sunroof, what I like is that you don't have to hit a button or anything. This works. You just want shade, that's it. Now, the roof is being dropped by 2 inches. The seats have also been shifted down, but tall drivers, like I'm 6 feet, but I have the torso of a giant. I think if you were like 6'4", 6'5", it would be tough in here.
I think so.
So try it out.
I really like that Toyota went with a traditional shifter in here. This top trim gets the wireless charger, and it's not a flat surface. You just pop your phone in on the side. I think it's a clever idea, keeping it very clean.
So in the front there's a tray, and you would think that's where the wireless charger is, but no, your phone goes in this way, kind of like General Motors does with a lot of their vehicles, but it actually keeps the phone out of your sight, and you want to focus on Apple or Android through the head unit.
And there's 6 USB-C ports in here, and the digital key is available on the top trim. And of course there's Toyota Remote Connect as well, and there's over-the-air updates. So when you're using the app, you can start your vehicle, you can unlock it, lock it, and really get to know your Prius through the app.
Yeah, so you're thinking that's done. You want to start your car when it's cold or unlock it. Actually, you can use it with the Bluetooth to have entry into the car and push button start. So without a key, you can use your phone and you can share it with other people. We've seen this really pioneered by Tesla, but it's nice to see other brands are doing it.
The old Prius came with a 6-speaker audio system, and now Toyota has added the JBL sound system to the top trim. This new Prius has been upgraded to Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0, so that includes forward collision warning, lane keep assist, lane follow assist. It even comes standard with blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert.
All right, so this car has more power, 60% more power. It's definitely sexier looking. With all this new tech, it ain't going to be cheaper. It's going to be more expensive.
Well, let's do a quick recap of the 2022 Prius. We'll do the all-wheel drive model just because in Canada now it's standard all-wheel drive. It starts at just over $30,000 Canadian, and in the US it's just over $27,500. And then the top trim is just under $34,000 Canadian and just over $33,000 in the US. Not much of a difference there, hey, between Canadian and US pricing.
I'm guessing there's going to be a difference between the last model and this model. I'd love to hear your predictions right below and tell us what you think. What's the number going to be?
Well, I hope you enjoyed our walk around of the new Prius hybrid. We cannot wait to share our driving impressions with you.
So when you wake up on December 14th, that's when the embargo list will give you our full review.
You can place your orders now. Head to your dealership. If you want this vehicle, Get in early.
Yeah, and then there's the plug-in version coming later in the year. Thanks for watching.